Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I found we do a tutorial on how I trace Google images from my Googled images and bring them down to my Silhouette and trace them. I recently had a request for Mickey Mouse. This Mickey Mouse was actually emailed to me. All I did was download it to my download files and brought it down to my Silhouette. And I thought I'd also do a mini, and this was just a Googled image that I just happened to come across. I believe I Googled Mickey Mouse clip art. But let's go ahead and start off with Mickey Mouse. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to this butterfly looking one. Select trace. I'm going to go ahead and trace my image. Now it looks like you guys are having trouble in this area right here. When you go ahead and select trace an image, you have to actually go back to this part right here and bring it down a little bit. And you do it slowly by slowly till you kind of see that the whole image is fully traced. You could either zoom in a little bit more. I want to make sure that the eyes are fully traced. Actually, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and trace it. I'm going to go ahead and move it. Now I'm going to go ahead and click it. Go to my colors right here and go ahead and color it black. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and right click it and click on Release Compound Path. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and start coloring it in. And I'm going to go ahead and use my image over here as my guide for the colors. Now, I know a lot of you see me always getting Googled images and using them on my layout. It's not as easy as some of you may think. It does take time and you do get used to it. I know it might be frustrating at first, but believe me, you will get used to it, and it's just a matter of time till you get the hang of it. Now, as you can see, this area right here, I don't really have a color that would kind of be similar to this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this part right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this color. Oops, I put it over here. I meant to put it over here. There we go. Now for this button, I'll go ahead and put it white again. My shorts are red. Now this is just an idea, you know, this will be paper piece eventually, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You could change the shorts to pretty much any color you would like. I would probably leave it red because that's just Mickey's trademark, his red shorts and yellow shoes. But you could just change it to any color you would like. This is just to give you an idea, especially when you're separating the colors to actually cut them. Alright, I think we have everything, but we're not done. As you can see here, this part should be see-through. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I'm going to click it and then drag my mouse. There we go. As you can see, it did highlight that area. I'm going to go ahead and right click it and click on Make Compound Path. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and send it to the back. Here you can send it to the front, you can send it to the back. Okay, this right here, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. You don't have to, but it kind of, what it's trying to show you is that this is part of his arms that are reaching up. So that's why it has that mark right here. The same thing over here. It wants to show you that there is a difference between the ear and the arm. So I'm going to go ahead and click down and drag it till I get all three. Now I'm going to go ahead and make compound path, send it to the back. One more time. Send it to the back. Now I believe we have a couple more, so let me go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and remove our back layer. There we go. Now we can kind of see better all the shadowed areas that we need to go ahead and click on Make Compound Path. Let's go ahead and start on the top. Here I'll go ahead and remove the eyes. Then highlight the eyes in the nose area. Make compound path. We can go ahead and bring the eyes back. Let's go ahead and do the buttons. As you can see, it did highlight all three, the shorts and the two buttons area. Make compound path. And it really is not hard. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. Sandra, I believe you were the one who messaged me. I'm pretty sure you were a little bit frustrated trying to figure out what maybe you were missing. I want to say it's really, really easy once you get the hang of it. When I really started, I thought, oh, this is so frustrating. I am not going to do this. It's not worth it. Oh, did I do it? Nope, I didn't. I forgot to do the bottom part. But once you get used to it, you'll be able to do it in less than 5 minutes. You'll probably want to do a little bit more difficult SVG files just to see if you can. It's really fun once you get the hang of it. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight it, highlight everything and group it together. Let's go ahead and zoom in and see how it turned out. There we go. That looks really nice. Now let's go ahead and go over to Mini. We could either trace this image or we could always use it as clip art. I'm going to go ahead and use it as, I'm going to trace it, do the same thing I did with Mickey Mouse. I'm going to go over here, this area where it looks like a little butterfly. I'm going to go ahead and click trace area. Trace my image. Okay. This one's a little bit more complicated. Now I'm going to go back to this area right here and kind of play with it a little bit. Bring it down, bring it up, just so I see once it gets to where I want it. Remember, you could always zoom in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trace it. Zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and make it black. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and right click it and click on Release Compound Path. Now this one's a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to go ahead and group it and move it to the side just in case I mess up and I have to do it over. It really wouldn't be the first time. Okay, so we could definitely start coloring our image, our colors. We could do it just like they have it here. Honestly, the shading in is actually the easy part. The more difficult part is when you have to do the other colors. This color. There we go. So you see this one, it traced it together, but no worries, I could use my knife feature a little bit later and fix that right up. I think we pretty much got everything. Let me double check. I believe so. Now this is where the fun starts. Let's see here. Guess I'll start off with here. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the back layer with this part right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on Make Compound Path, send it to the back. Bring our shoe part back. Highlight the outer layer with this part right here. Make Compound Path, send it to the back. Okay, one more time. Now we'll go ahead and send it to the back. Let me just see what this is. Oh, it's this part right here. This one is too small, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Going to go ahead and highlight it. Make Compound Path. Send it to the back. Highlight it. Make Compound Path. There's a lot of repetition. Let's see here. Go ahead and remove this. Oh no, that's wrong. Um, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put aside the back layer, and I'm going to go ahead and work on some of these. Here, it's a little part, but I do want it to show. Make compound path. This little one, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. The same thing with this one. Make compound path. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the white little part here, and I'm going to go ahead and make compound path here. I'm going to go ahead and repeat my steps. These little ones, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Make compound path. This one I believe should be white. Part of the shirt. Anything else before? Okay, let's go ahead and fix the eye. For the eye, I'm going to go ahead and go to my knife feature. Click it. It's already set on curve. Usually, you'll have it auto apply, meaning every time you cut something, it'll automatically cut it. But today, we're not using auto apply because we might make some changes. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Zoom in a little bit more. Now here, I want to cut it and then curve it down. Double click it. That's all I want. Now, as you can see here, it didn't cut it just yet because I removed the auto apply. I'm gonna go to my lines, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it down a notch because this is really thick. I want it to be a little bit more thinner. Okay, let's try that. Apply. Oh, I think that looks really good. So all I did was to thin out my line, was move it here. You could drag it down, or you could just play with it a little bit in this area till you get it to your liking. Now I still have my knife feature, so I have to go back to my arrow. Zoom out. I'm gonna go ahead and change the color on that. Okay. There we go. I think we pretty much got everything. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight everything, group it together. I could group it together, ungroup it right here. And here you have my Googled images that were traced. I really hope you guys find it helpful, my tutorial. You know, you guys should really definitely give it a try. It really is not hard. I know it could be frustrating or kind of boring at times because you pretty much just saw me do the release compound path or make compound path, but it's really fun to think outside the box when you're doing your layouts instead of just using the same images over and over. There's plenty of images on Google for clipboard, or I've used coloring pages a lot. I've traced coloring book images on Google and I've used those as well. It really is fun. If you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment. I do try to get back to everybody as soon as I can. I also have a Snapchat. if you guys would like to see what I'm working on. I hope you guys have a great day and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.